So it's the first Turner Syndrome live. I have coffee. Hey! Okay, I'm back. It disconnected. Um, I was somehow able to jump back in. So hopefully it still is showing on the same one. The counter looks like the counter. The time looks like it's the same. Um, but let me know if you guys can see me still. Or again. I don't know what that was. um, So, this is the first Turner Syndrome live, and yeah, I'm really excited. Hi! Okay, so thank you. It was such an amazing trip. I have so much footage to edit and actually put up because things got a little crazy and I was not able to finish editing for it to go up at all yesterday. But hi guys. But those are coming and I think I'm going to edit them and have them go up like over the weekend. I don't even think I'm going to take the break I usually do on the weekend. I think I'm just going to edit a bunch of them and have them go up so that I can show you guys the DC vlogs because they were amazing. Like, oh my gosh. It was so much fun. I could do a whole video recapping that. But yeah, so we made it back. And if you watched the first vlog and you heard what happened, look what I got back. It made its way back to me. I had to call the lost and found at the airport. And then I got it confirmed that they had it this morning, so I ran to the airport and got it from them. And yeah, so somehow it got turned in. I never actually heard where they found it, or where it got turned in from, because they were behind that like plastic barrier thing and it's hard to understand and talk through. So I just didn't even try. I was just happy to have it. And yeah, I'm just really excited to have it back. So that is fun. Yeah, so Turner Syndrome stuff. um, well, I showed you guys what I was doing before we left. I did all of those tests right before we left. And all of the results, pretty much all of the results, actually came in before we left. They came in super quick. Like all of the blood work, the ultrasound, all of it came super quick. So I actually had it before we left, but I didn't have time to really fully look at it. And I definitely didn't have time to share it with you guys yet. So I thought I would go over that a little bit and kind of talk about what they found and what the conclusion to that whole situation was. If you haven't seen me talking about why I had all of that testing done, go watch my other videos. But long story short is my liver enzyme levels were elevated, so they were trying to figure out why. So I had a bunch of blood work and an ultrasound on my abdomen to try to figure out why. Ultrasound was kind of didn't give much. Hi. I'm so glad everybody was able to jump on. I really hope the internet cooperates. The ultrasound wasn't much. It showed I still had gallstones. She didn't mention if they were smaller or anything than the last time, but they don't really cause me any pain much. And she kind of just said, they're still there. If they're not causing any pain, we don't need to do anything. I don't think that's why the liver levels are elevated. So the ultrasound really just showed nothing, basically. I don't know. And the blood work was interesting. And I had a little bit of a moment with one of them. But, so that liver enzyme was still slightly elevated. Technically, the one, like, there was two that they were testing. Technically, one was like one level above normal. So I don't think she really counted that as being elevated. And the other one, the same one that was like super, super elevated, was 10 points lower than the week before, but still elevated. Like it was still above normal, but it was even 10 points lower than before. So it'd be interesting to see what it would be at now, and if it's kind of just continuing that trend and going down and going back to normal. She tested things like how quickly my blood clotted, um, my white blood cell counts, a whole bunch of stuff. And all of it was kind of, it didn't show much. Like it didn't alarm anything. Nothing indicated why my liver level was elevated at all. My OBGYN, I contacted the first one I saw who told me about if it's still hurting your stomach, then it could be the estrogen levels, and switched me. I contacted her because my normal one I saw was going to be out. So I didn't think I'd be able to catch her before she left in order to do this for me before I had to go in for the testing. So I contacted that one and I said, hey, I want to do a hormone panel. I really want to see what mine are at. Like I really, really want to see what mine are at, because this whole thing has intrigued me into thinking we need to look at those more. Like I just reached out and I said, I'm really wanting to see what those are at with all of this going on. And I asked her about lowering it again and if that was an option or if she thought that made sense. Like I just wanted her opinion on it, and she said, I can definitely order those for you, but you're on the lowest dose of estrogen in that we have. So we'd have to talk to your endo about other options moving forward and if there even is any alternative. So that was interesting. But I think they're not super worried because it's been going down. I don't know. I think with it leveling out, with switching me to this, they might not be super worried. So, yeah. But she did the hormone panel for me. And the one I had a little moment of was within those. I didn't even think about that being one she would order, and she ordered the FSH level again. And Kendra can attest to this because I texted her freaking out because it was 10 points lower than before. And if you guys remember me explaining what the FSH level is, it basically is your ovarian. She's laughing at me. It basically is your ovarian function. It's if your ovaries are responding. So I saw that, and if it's lower, that means it's good because it's responding. If it's higher, that means your brain's having to send a bunch and it's not getting a response. So the lower that number is, the better for your ovarian function. And I saw that mine was lower and basically freaked out, thinking, oh my gosh, what does that mean? Does that mean anything? Not really, because it fluctuates. Yes, Kate, follicle stimulating hormone. Yeah, it's the hormone that your brain sends to your ovaries saying release an egg. And then your ovaries send a different hormone back saying message received, releasing an egg. And that's how you ovulate. And so the higher that level is, the more they, depending what number you're at, usually it's like 20 or 25 and up, they count you as menopausal, which would be typical for Turner's. When they first tested me, it was at 51. I don't like that number. It was at 51, and this last time it was at 40, and I was like, say what? What does that mean? What? It really means nothing, though, because you have to put that number in context with everything else. And yeah, so I had a little moment. because I was like, what does that mean? But I ended up finding out that it can fluctuate. So it being lower at one point, higher at the other doesn't really mean much. You just have to keep in context it was that high at one point, and that's significant. So the fact that mine was at 50 means something. And that means that was like that just shows the functionality still. And you're not going to have any more significant of function at 40 than 50 to really go to a doctor and say, hey, can we use this? They're going to laugh you out of the building, or me. Because that anything below or anything above 20, they're not even going to touch. Like, he definitely made me feel like I'm not putting you through what that would look like, and I'm not wasting your time, your money, your emotions for that. And yeah. So, anyways, I had to figure that out because I was a little like, what is that? And now I know a little more. Kate, it sounds like how they test TSH for thyroid levels. High means low. I don't know about the thyroid levels, but if high means low function, then yes, that's the exact same thing. Yeah, that's exactly how that works. If it has to put more and more and more of that hormone out without getting a response, there's a problem. There's some part of it not happening. And yeah. So the overall picture it gave me, I mean, really the biggest thing I took from it was, yep, I have Turner's, because my hormones were all out of normal range. Like, none of them were in normal range, really. And the liver levels just elevated with no reason. It sounds like that's, like, from our previous conversation on the live stream of this, it sounds like that's normal for Turner's to have a little bit elevated liver function. I still don't know why. I think it's a good sign that mine's been like recovering and going towards normal, and it's really, I don't think it's that far off of normal, but I'm also not a doctor, so I don't know what leniency they give that outside of what they consider the normal range. And I don't know how high is common. So, yeah. I found out that my FSH was high, and I know for sure that I'm a TS girl. Yeah, an FSH level being high is what you would expect for a woman with Turner syndrome. He was, yeah, when I first got that level, he was not surprised. He said it confirmed what I would suspect with you having Turner's. These are not what you want to see for fertility, and that's what you would expect. And then he kind of just explained what that meant and what he would recommend. So, it was just interesting to actually see those numbers, like the I don't know how to say it correctly. Estradiol, estradiol. I don't know how to say it. But the estrogen level. I think my FSH and estradiol level were where they were because I had been good about taking my pills up until taking that test. And I'm also wondering if that might play a difference in what my FSH level was, because when she emailed after getting the results and said your FSH was at 40, I know before it was at 51, something like that. She said that just shows you're getting enough estrogen, and it's bringing it closer to normal, which is interesting because I don't know what that disconnect is between that number going down, which should mean ovarian function, but also that can like superficially be brought down by false estrogen, but it doesn't actually change like, I'm confused. I still don't completely understand, guys. I just know it's not a good number either way still. But there was a lot of information in those results. Nothing earth-shattering. It was just, they were tests I don't think I had ever had done, so it was really interesting seeing them done. I mean, the FSH one I did, but yeah. So basically, she kind of ended it saying that we just have to watch the number and make sure it didn't continue going up or shift or something like that. Just that for now we would just keep an eye on it. She can't see why it did anything. Oh, hi.
Hello. On the table. Oh, you want this on? Sit.
Oh. He sniffed at you. Kendra says hi.
Sit. Oh, hi.
He's a little distracted.
Oh.
Oh, hi, Dana.
You want
or
it?
Or Dana.
You want it? Sit. Sit. There you go. No, sit. Sit. Sit.
So,
I think our puppy's broken.
What did you do to him?
No, watch. Sit.
He puts his butt on the floor for like half a second and then
Stay.
stands back up.
Good.
Hi, Sandra. Okay.
There you go.
So.
Oh, yeah, now you jingle.
Oh. He told you.
Somebody get this, actually. No, we're not doing that thing that you think we're doing.
Yes, Max is my fur baby. Come here. Say hi.
They're talking about you. Here.
Say hi.
Come over here. Come here. No, wrong side. Come here. Right here. Oh, say hello. Max.
Yeah. Puppy kisses.
Come on.
Okay. He's my baby. He's going to be very sad when, well, he'll be conflicted when we actually have, like, foster kids. Because he will be extremely jealous of the attention. But he'll also be super protective of them and, like, really enjoy having them. So, yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. It was surreal. It was crazy. And I tried to get, my mom took a video on her phone of me actually walking, and I couldn't, like, it was too big of a file to text, so it wasn't working to send it for me to put it in, but I put what I could in. It was just really crazy. I think I got much more emotional because that actually felt like I was really done. Whereas the others, I knew I still needed to go a little further. So I knew that wasn't being completely done with school. So this time I was so much more emotional. So much more like, holy geez, that just happened. And, oh my gosh. Yeah. So, I'm using my hand that's blocking me. Thank you. I am going to try to add it to another vlog. I will try to put that in as soon as I can get it. And hopefully I'll be able to fit it in nicely. we had an amazing time, and we got to do so much. So much that I haven't gotten to show you guys in the vlogs yet. I really wish I had gotten to keep going, but like I said, I'm either gonna do, I mean, okay, maybe I'll leave this up to you guys. I could do 2 videos each day to catch up really quickly, or I could spread them out and do 1 video each day for the next like 4 or 5 days to finish. Because I've got like 4 vlogs. Like, tomorrow is not going to be a natural video, guys. It's going to be a DC vlog because I need to finish them even though I'm home. So, thank you. Yes, I got my ring back. I got it back. I had to track down the lost and found at the airport, but I did it and I got it back actually this morning or this afternoon. I went back to the airport and got it. So somebody had turned it in and I got it back. So excited. I literally cried and was like probably looking like a crazy person getting on the plane, crying while handing them my boarding pass. But yeah. What advice can you give on TS and social skills? Also, has TS affected the way you deal with others and the way others treat you? I know you make videos, but it would be nice to hear a life perspective. So there's a lot with Turners that can affect social relationships. I mean, all the stuff that comes with Turners, even if you have the best perspective on it, it can feel really overwhelming, and it can really challenge your view of yourself. Like, you're not good enough, like you have all these things that are wrong with you, all these things that come with you, and nobody that you're around really can ever truly understand if they don't have it. So there are complications that come with it that they will never have to face. My friends, I love them to death. I love them to death. And I'm so grateful for the way they have supported me and how I've tried to deal with and process all of the infertility stuff. But they have no idea what that actually feels like. They're just very sympathetic in that they know it's hard. And they know it's hard for me. Like, they know me personally. They know how much it matters to me. And that kind of goes along with everything. That's all of the doctor's tests. That's sitting in an MRI for 2 or 3 hours. That's dealing with the blood work every year. And it's a very unique experience. I think unique is a really good word for it, because even infertility wise, it's a very special type of infertility where you have much more closed off to you than other types of infertility. You have much less options than others. Whereas some people say, "Oh, just do IVF." Yeah, but my IVF isn't 15,000. My IVF is with egg donation that costs 40,000. So there's a difference. And I don't want that to sound like nobody is ever going to understand you, so social relationships are impossible. It just takes understanding that. And I think that affects it. The other thing is there's NLVD. No, NVLD. I flipped the 2 middle ones. NVLD, nonverbal learning disorder. That has to do with the math issues. It has to do with reading social cues, depth perception. All of those things are affected by it, and all of that can kind of affect school, relationships, social situations, driving. All of that can be affected by that and affect how people perceive what you're perceiving. A lot of the times I feel like I'm way more hypersensitive to stuff than other people are, where I'll read into it farther, or I'll spend more time dwelling on, well, what did that really mean? Why did they say that? Or things like that. I take more to heart than normal. I don't know about normal, but I just take it to heart a lot. And and there are times where I have trouble telling if somebody's joking or not, and I'm like, okay. And there are legitimate times where I don't know for sure. Um, and there's, when it comes to jokes, because of that, I'm more sensitive to them. Like, and honestly, some of it is I'm just more hypersensitive in that way. Like, I can handle jokes. I'm short and blonde. I've heard jokes my whole life. There's like very few of those types of jokes I haven't heard. But after a while, it gets really wearing because there's only so much of, yeah, that you can really do. Like, there's only so much of laughing it off that it gets you before you're like, okay, I get it, but I'm done hearing it. Well, and then there's but either way, that kind of felt too far. That doesn't feel like a joke to me. And I don't know. There's just, and I feel like that's a very me thing. Um, but I know that's NVLD also. So I've never counted myself as having that much, but I know there are kind of tendencies that I have that connect to that. I'm just very much not the extreme. So, okay, let me back up. However you post, I will watch for sure. Thank you. I'll have to decide that. That was a very good question. I hope I answered it. If you have anything other specific things you would like to see, what else was there? Oh, affected the way you deal with others and the way others treat you. So I've always felt like because of my height and because I don't look my age, like especially with no makeup, I feel like I look like a teenager, like a kid. And I'm 27, almost 28. Like, I'm definitely not a kid anymore. But I very much have always felt like my size and just my personality has definitely gotten me discounted. And like, people don't always take me very seriously. And I have to fight a little harder to be heard. Yeah. So, yeah, I have had that, and I've kind of just had to learn to put my own boundaries up, learn to balance it, learn to keep perspective on how they're meaning, how they're acting, and stand up for myself when I feel like I need to. Um, that's definitely become something that's a skill I'm improving at. My mother-in-law lost her wallet one time in a casino. Lucky for her, it was turned in. That is very lucky. I was very lucky this got turned in. Congrats on graduating and glad you got your ring back. Thank you, Kimmy. I am very, very glad as well. You are so right about TS affecting you in a unique way no one else gets. Yeah, it's a super unique experience. And especially with how rare it's claimed to be and how sporadic the symptoms are, there's such unique experiences. I really don't know much about TS and want to learn more about it. I was diagnosed at 16 and 36. So Chandra, you're 36 now and you were diagnosed at 16? Yep, others don't know what Turner's girls go through. For sure. Yep, all the fertility advice never really applies to us. Yep. It doesn't. I've had so many people, the first thing they bring up is IVF, and I'm like, yeah, that's great, except my version of IVF is 40 grand. So, I mean, how much do you love us? I try so hard to put that into perspective, but it does suck because that's a tough number. I have math issues, as in when I was in school and I didn't really understand how to do it at times. And when it comes to money, I'm not very good at counting it. I suck at math. I've always sucked at math. Come on. Yes, there we go. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Okay. Oh gosh, I'm back. Okay. Let me go back to where I was. Okay. So, if you're still with me and you can hear me, let me know. I'm gonna try to go back into where I was. The internet may not cooperate for very long, guys. But yeah, I suck at math. I always have. I threw a party after my last math class I had to take. It was a joyous moment for me. It feels like no one takes it seriously. Yes, totally get it. Yeah. I've always been very sensitive and have had low self-esteem, still do. Insecurity is a tough one because it's all stuff that is caused by it. So then you almost get to this point where you're like,